Good morning again, brothers and sisters. Allow me to give you my short reflection on the first reading as well as today's gospel reading also. From the first reading, St. Paul, according to the Acts of the Apostles, he is a Pharisee, born of Pharisees. So the Pharisees believe in the resurrection of the dead. On the other hand, Sadducees, they don't believe in the resurrection of the dead. For them, no resurrection. We are together with St. Paul that we Catholics believe in the resurrection of the dead. Meaning that one day we will rise with Christ. Of course, we have to do something before we rise with Christ. That is, like on the cross, Jesus Christ suffered and died. Finally, he resurrected. Likewise, before our resurrection here on earth, we have to be like Jesus also. That there are so many things we have to encounter. Some will give us sufferings, but we should not run away from sufferings. If we want to be really followers or disciples of Jesus, like St. Paul, who gave his life also, because he was a true follower or disciple of Christ. So it means that we have hope. I have my hope that one day I will go back to my country and I have to do the mission in my country. I'm sure that all of you also have hope that one day you will become priests as VD missionaries. It is your hope. Of course, all of us, we have different hope. Well, at last, we have only one hope, that is resurrection, our resurrection with Christ. Now let me go to the Gospel's reading of today. From the Gospel reading of today, Jesus is a traveling preacher. He is going from town to another town, from a village to another village. It means that Jesus is on the road preaching and proclaiming the kingdom of God, the good news. In our life also here on earth, it means we are on the road also, but not for our interest, but being on the road for us should be for the mission of God, to proclaim the good news. And in the second point of the gospel, there were 12 disciples. Aside from the 12 disciples, there are also women. Those women, they had been cured of evil spirits and their infirmities or diseases. In gratitude, they also become disciples of Jesus wherever Jesus goes, from town to town, from village to village. It means that in order to fulfill or preach the good news of God or the kingdom of God, we need to collaborate with one another. No collaboration, no success. The more we are united, the stronger we are. So the Gospels, the women from the Gospel of today remind us that we have, God gave us so many graces. God showers upon us so many graces already. But the problem is that we don't recognize, like the women of the gospel today. They recognize, they are able to recognize what God has done in their life. How nice it is if we are like those women, that we recognize the graces God has given us. So now let me ask you a question. If I ask you, who will be worldwide who will be the most famous woman for you here on earth? Who will be that? It may be said or just normal. For me, a great woman or a great and true follower of Jesus is our modern day saint, Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa. Though she was a woman, she was strong. Though she was a woman, she became a true follower of Christ. Well, dear brothers and sisters, though it is difficult to be true followers of Jesus Christ, we like it or not, since we are Catholics, we must try to become true followers of Jesus Christ. I said collaboration. We have to collaborate with one another, especially during this time, because we have a common enemy, that is pandemic COVID-19. In order to fight it, all of us, every country, every nation must come into collaboration. Otherwise, it might take longer to have vaccine to fight the COVID-19. So, dear brothers and sisters, the 12 disciples as well as the women of the gospel today collaborate or fulfill the mission of Jesus, that is preaching the good news. Likewise, in our life also, let us not forget that we have to collaborate with one another for the mission of God here on earth.